Hey, I'm Kevin, and I'm going to show you how to make clean backgrounds in After Effects. I use these mainly for green screen environments, and this tutorial will give you a good foundation on building backgrounds. And this is the end product that we are looking to achieve. Ready to wrap your next video project? Reach out to Kevin W Production. Give us a call or visit our website. Pretty simple, just a small moving background with some color, some texture. Really looking for something that's clean and not too noisy in the background. So what we're going to do, start with a new composition. So first we're going to make a solid. If you're working with a client, you can use their brand style guide to choose which color. If you don't have any kind of color guides, pick something that won't clash with the talent, especially with what they're wearing. For example, don't use a red background if they're wearing a red shirt. So I'm going to use kind of a little bit of a desaturated green for my background. Okay, next we are going to find a texture. There are 3 places you can find a texture. You can use subscription sites like Motion Array or Getty Images. You can take a photo of your own, or you can just use Wikimedia Commons. Now this site's good because everything here is free to use, so you don't have to worry about usage rights. So I'm just going to use this texture I found here, wallpaper texture. All I did was search texture into Wikimedia Commons. Use any texture that you want and bring it into your composition above your solid. I'm going to scale this up. Next, we're going to move on to blending. Toggle switches down here to switch to blending modes if you don't see your blending modes right here. Okay, this shows all our blending modes. You don't need to know what all these do. You can just trial and error all these until you find something you like. So here's just a few examples of what each overlay could do. I kind of like what this multiply here is doing. It's a little bit too harsh, so I'm going to hit T on my keyboard, and I'm going to just turn that down a little bit so the texture is a little bit subtle. You can also just swivel down your texture here and go to opacity. Adjust it to where, there we go. Now I'm gonna add a vignette. There are several ways you can add a vignette, but I like to just create a black solid so that I can just quickly adjust the parameters without dealing with effect controls too much. Okay. Just kind of move this out to where it's on the edge. I'm going to go to my mode here where it says mask 1 and subtract, just to keep the black edges not in the center of the frame. And here I can adjust it how I'd like it. I don't really want a big vignette, just something small to add just to kind of break up the frame a little bit. So I'm going to turn that opacity down. I'm going to really feather that vignette, okay? And then I'll just adjust it until I'm happy with it. There we go. This is essentially it. This is the foundation for building a good background that isn't just one solid color, but we're going to add a few things just to make it feel more dynamic. One thing you can do is make this green solid a gradient. So I'm going to go up here to my effects and presets, just search for gradient and drag in gradient ramp. Okay, I'm going to hit this start color eyedropper tool and just click the little solid here, since that is the same color as my solid. I'm going to change this to black, but you can keep it white if you would like. And I'm going to adjust the start and end of the ramps because I don't necessarily want the black to dominate this. I just want the gradient to be kind of subtle. Okay, there we go. So sometimes adding this black gradient here can help if you have a lower third or maybe a phone bar that you want to put here, and it will help that graphic be more legible. And something you'll see often in green screen environments are backgrounds that have some movement. Again, if you have a subscription to video asset sites, they'll have a bunch of these. Just look under the backgrounds tab. But we are going to use a free site called Pixabay. So all I did was look up background. I'm going to drop down here and we're going to go to videos. Now these backgrounds might seem a little busy and not what you're looking for, but using the same techniques, blending and changing the opacity and maybe even the color, you can actually make these look clean and professional. So I'm going to choose this one. It has a lot of color, but we're going to manipulate that to fit our needs. I'm going to drag this down above our solid, but below our texture. And then drag that out here. Okay, so right now it's taking over the whole frame, but just like before, we are going to go through some of the blending options to see what we like. Now some of these may look silly and ridiculous, but just remember that with the transparency, you'll be able to blend this in to your original composition pretty well. So I'm going to use subtract here, and to get rid of this intense green, again we're going to go to opacity, drop that down to about 15%. Okay, now here we have some movement in the frame. Now I plan to put my subject on the right side of this frame, so I don't necessarily need that much movement on that side. So I'm going to hit P to go to position right here on the video layer, and I'm just going to move the portion that I want to the left side of the frame. So right now if we play it, we have some movement. In order to get rid of this harsh cut right here, I'm going to go up here and get the ellipse tool. Okay, with the video texture selected, I'm going to mask out just that portion. Mask, I'm going to hit subtract, and then under mask I'm going to feather out that mask so that it blends in more naturally. So there we go. Now I'm going to add in my talent and see what this looks like. Alright, so I'm going to put my talent on the top layer and then just kind of make some adjustments so that they fit right in. Alright, so this is essentially what we have. So I usually keep this area here open in case you need to put a call to action or any kind of bullet points that you want. I'll show you an example of what that looks like. Here I put just kind of a quick graphic so you can see, you know, why we would keep this area open. And you can see in this one,
Kevin W.
I
Production.
actually mirrored the video effect to match.
Kevin W. Production.
And the way I did that was just using the mirror effect here in the effects controls. But this is essentially the foundation of what you need to create backgrounds. Everything here on you can customize to your liking. Things to remember that even if a texture looks too busy, much like this one, you can always adjust them to your liking. Just look for something to start with and adjust how you like. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope you are more confident in creating green screen backgrounds that are clean and professional.